Beautiful peoples, welcome. Welcome to Hood Philosophy, where we're going to discuss and maybe even answer some of life's biggest questions in a way that clicks with people from all walks of life. Hey, so we're talking about the hood cats, the single mums, maybe even the dads that only get to see, their kids every now and again, people with disabilities, people struggling with addiction, people trying to go down that recovery route and keep falling off the horse. Maybe we can speak to you fellas, and that's who we're looking to reach. My name's Z. Today's episode is going to be about taking the leap, but before we take the leap into taking the leap, I'd just like to mention yesterday I recorded this podcast, right? You know what happened? I accidentally turned the mic off at the start. Yeah, I was shattered. But blessing in disguise, I was wearing a raggedy ass t-shirt, so I thought we'll put on a nicer t-shirt today. Um, but yeah, so I just like to start off, and part of the learning process, right? I told you I'm going to take you through it with me, and that's warts and all. Yesterday was a wart, but we will learn from that mistake. We have to learn from that mistake, otherwise, what's the point? Can't make the same mistake twice. Definitely not. We hold ourselves to a higher standard than the rest, and we've got to practice what we preach. So I'd like to give thanks for being here, being able to send my love out into the world. Maybe someone watches it, maybe someone listens to it, takes something away from it. We're going to be talking about different things, all because for me everything is interconnected. Whether it be your pride to your love to your anger to your lust, all that's linked somehow. But I won't go off on a tangent straight away. So yeah, giving thanks, beautiful family, awesome friends, just awesome peoples around me. We're walking in greatness, and I have to say happy birthday to my boy Zafir. He turned 13 last Wednesday. 13 going on 23, I think. You already see a little bit of the age attitude adjustment. When you become a teenager, we all been there. Anybody listening to this anyway. And there's lots going on, right? When you hit 13. But he's a strapping young boy. He's going to turn into a fine young man. He's got good values. And I know parents like to bang on about how good their kids are. But yeah, the way he holds himself, ooh, it's pretty cool. The fact that he's 13, he's an old soul, and I probably made him an old soul. Yeah, I haven't always been the best dad. Let's just say that, and he's my first, right? And I parented him how I was parented, and we won't get into that right now. But I did things that, as a dad, not proud of. Definitely not proud of. But it happened. And you know what the turning point for me in regards to becoming a better dad was? No, like not becoming a better dad, just realizing that I had to mend a relationship that I didn't even realize that I'd had such a negative impact on. And when you get to thinking, I'm not dumb. I should have known what I was doing. There's no excuse, you know? Keep it real. When we first had Zafir, that was a turbulent time. And I had no idea what I was doing. I couldn't even look after myself. Yeah, that that was actually uh, he was born the year before I gave up all hard drugs. Yeah, and I dare say having the responsibility of a son that would have helped flip the switch in regards to that one. So he's always been nothing but a blessing. But the time I realized that I had to mend my relationship with my son was, and I think it was about 5, we'll say 5 years ago. I I went to sit down next to him on the couch, and he jumped like he was startled, like he was scared, and that absolutely crushed me. Broke my heart because I want to be a dad that my kids are proud of. Back then, I wasn't. These days, yeah, I see the look in their eyes when I get home from work and stuff. Because I work long hours. That's how it is. But they make do, and I make time to like that quality time to spend with them. Definitely not perfect, getting better. But anyway, happy birthday, Zafir. You're I'm proud of you, son. You just you just smash it out of the park all the time. Doesn't matter what you do because you work hard. So keep it up, son. That's all you can do. As long as you work hard, I don't care about your results. You already know this. Just get on that grind and push yourself. Hey, that's it. Happy birthday, son. Happy birthday. All right, moving on. So I just wanted to mention Tom. So Tom's one of the people that gave me some very honest feedback for after the first episode. Sorry, Tom's exercise physiologist out at the Bayside, and this fella, let me tell you, he's very good at what he does. Don't get me wrong. The work that he does doesn't define the man. The way he carries himself, you can tell that the same way he carries himself when he's working with people with disabilities or older people or just people trying to give it a go. Like the fella's energy makes people want to gravitate towards him. I train in the same gym where he works, and yeah, sometimes you see he has a group class with people that got disabilities, and he's got them laughing, he's got them smiling, and they're just having a fucking awesome time, and you just have to be there, eh? And I know a few people that get seen by old Tom, and the things that they say about this fella, it's like, oof. But yeah, thank you, bro, for giving me that rough, raw, honest feedback. I got, you know, uh, I'm a big boy. I can handle the truth, and it's a learning process too, eh? But yeah, Tom, he's a good man. I just wanted to shout out the bro. I also wanted to give thanks to all the people who listened to watch the last one. Much love to you. So, I thought I'd touch on the quotes mentioned at the end of the first episode. And the first one is happiness is not feeling good, it's being good. Happiness is not feeling good, it's being good. I'm going to get better at getting the references for quotes. I do apologize. I'm terrible with writing quotes down. Um, I am getting better because there's lots you can take away from a quote, especially if you got that growth mindset going on. Like, there's always a way of, pardon me, practically applying that wisdom into our everyday lives. Sometimes it might not seem like like it might seem so cliche, but they're cliche for a reason, right? Like they've been around for maybe decades, hundreds of years, thousands of years. Like one thing that we got to understand is that these these texts, these books, these pieces of art stand the test of time. Masterpieces. Doesn't matter like what we think about these specific pieces of art or whatever literature, whatever you want to call it, masterpieces. Why? Because they weren't just legacy books. They stood the test of time. They they continued to be able to apply to be applied practically in everyday lives. Millions of people. That's crazy. Quotes. They're awesome. Love me a quote. All right. Happiness is not feeling good, it's being good. This is one that clicks with me. This one really clicks with me. Happiness is not feeling good, it's being good. Cuz so what I take away from that is feeling, right? So that's just a fleeting moment, you know? Maybe a dopamine release when you get something shiny or you get something new that you don't really need. And after, unless it's a big shiny car or something like that, you generally put it to the back of the wardrobe. You don't fuck with it after that because it was just a toy. And them kinds of happiness, like, because when you pardon me, when you be good and you do good, that's where every moment in every single day can be a possible moment for happiness. Because when when you're grateful and you're being kind and you're being compassionate and you're showing empathy, not showing empathy, you got to live empathy. Only good things can come from that, right? And that doesn't matter if you believe in karma or any of the other things, other concepts that some of you fellas might think is a little bit woo woo, right? For me, it's common sense, When you send love out into this world, what are you going to get back? You're going to get love back. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be 6 months, a year from now, but it's coming. It's coming in its own form. That's because it has to. It has to. That's the way it works. Happiness is not feeling good, it's being good. Yeah. How does that sit with you? What do you think about that one? Happiness is not feeling good, it's being good. Maybe we've got to stop chasing happiness and focus on being, being and doing, showing up for everybody around us. Anyway, I won't drag on that one. The second quote is, it's not what we belong to, it's who we belong to. It's not what we belong to, it's who we belong to. So this is a good one because it's almost like passion and purpose, right? Or is it? Nah, not really. It's not what we belong to, it's who we belong to. So we can. Okay, back to it. I had a little break, had a little drink of water. I'll be honest, I lost my chain of thought. We're going to jump straight back to the quote. It's not what we belong to, it's who we belong to. So, who we belong to, right? Like minded individuals. So, people from our tribe, like that's what we're all looking for at the end of the day. We're looking for our tribe, right? Some people find it at the gym, some people find it in art classes, some people go salsa, some people box, and it's it's not what it's and for them it's not about what you belong to, it's about who you belong to. It's like when you go to the gym and you got a gym mate or you got a gym buddy, and that's something that you do 2-3 times a week, and you know that you're going to go show up with the bro, pump some iron, have a chat, have some fun, and get to it. Whereas like what you belong to, the gym. If you're just going to the gym and you're just going, like you go and by yourself, yeah, like after a while you're gonna look good, but you're not connecting with people. And it's a social setting, and especially in this day and age, we need to be taking advantage of all our social settings. It's not what we belong to, it's who we belong to. I had much more to say on it yesterday, but that's all right. So we'll get straight to it. We're going to jump in, taking the leap, and we're going to start off with me starting this podcast, Hood Philosophy. Oh no, I made a mistake, and I think it's time to shout out the Nothing But Love podcast. That's a podcast that Emmanuel and I started, and that was the original Taking the Leap. If we didn't do that, there'd be no Hood Philosophy. There's no way I would have got it done. But the bro Emmanuel, I'll tell you the story of how we got it done. So me and Emmanuel have only been in the same room like 7 times, which is insane because we've got a lot of stuff done together, eh? And yeah, we took the leap, and it was scary at first, but we talked about starting a podcast, and then Emmanuel sent me an Amazon link for a beginner equipment set, and I grabbed that equipment set straight away because I realized, we need to start, right? We needed to take that first step. And bang, we got the equipment, and I messaged Emmanuel, and we started talking. When are we going to do it? And I think it was like the following Thursday that, yeah, like 5-6 days or something, and bang, recorded an episode. It was so cool. It was an awesome experience, and I'm so glad that we took the leap, eh? And I think it's important to note that without Emmanuel, I don't think I would have taken the leap. Yeah, he and that's quite powerful, and it's a good takeaway from what we're talking about here. Sometimes that can make taking the leap easier. Is there someone around that you can fall back on? Is there someone around that can teach you or learn with you, make mistakes with you, embrace that failure with you? Because it's two to the power of one. That's a no-brainer, right? Well, anyway, let's get into it. We got it done, and it was scary. And like I told you fellas last episode, shitting myself. Um, Even today, before I jumped on, shitting myself. Made sure I took some deep breaths. Just you know, take one with me. Don't be too proud, because sometimes, especially us men, we're too proud to breathe deeply. And I don't know why. It That's nervous system, you know? We want to be on the level. And that breathing, that's what gets us on the level. Anyway, so why do you reckon we're so scared of taking the leap? Because we don't know what's going to happen, right? Fear of the unknown. It's scary. The other side of the world. Look at my little brother. Yeah, he moved all the way to the UK, completely out of character. Like Rashid, he's he's not a risk taker, but he flew all the way to the UK, and wow, crazy, crazy. Um, you know why else? Quite often we don't take the leap because of our loved ones. Sorry, phone's a bit of a distraction. Oi, picks up the mic. My apologies. My apologies. Learning process. Bear with me. All right, where was I? So, loved ones. I noticed that I've been writing heaps about loved ones when it comes to taking the leap. And have you noticed that when you do want to pursue your passions or even your purpose, and maybe you want to change jobs or you want to leave a relationship, you want to do something scary, and the people you expect the support from the most turn around and say, that's a terrible idea. Well, I want to put a little bit of a different spin on it, so maybe we can flip the script a little bit easier. It's because it's because they care about you. And as silly as that sounds, and as misguided as they are, they don't want to see you fail. And they don't want to see the impact of that failure on you. And I genuinely think it comes from a good place, but it's nice, right? And fuck nice. Nice doesn't get us anywhere. That's what I tell my kids. Don't worry about being nice. Be good. Be good, do good. Don't worry about nice. And but one thing when it comes to loved ones is we want to please them. But why? This that's our life, you know. That's one thing that we need to realize is that we only get one of these blessings that we call life. And we can't let other people guide our decisions. And that comes people pleasing, the fear of failure, the fear of disappointing someone. This is something that we got to actively work on. Otherwise, we're not going to get to we're not going to get to experience the joy of what our passions can bring. Maybe we're not even going to get to turn our passions into purpose. And that'd be a fucking shame, right? Like, all because we're scared, we get a little bit anxious, butterflies in the stomach. Don't get me wrong, I'm there with you. But we can't let that get in the way of doing what we love most. Or like, what else stops us from taking the leap? Being too comfortable. Being too comfortable. So like the poor fellas that hate their jobs. And I know there's gonna be fellas listening, watching, that click with this, that vibe with this. The fellas that hate their jobs, but the money's sweet, the hours are sweet, the boss don't give me shit, and they stay there. That's for me. Nah, I want to do what I want to do, and don't get it twisted. I'm blessed in regards to I I get to wake up and support people, and I'd like to touch on, just so I don't lose this thought. I'd just like to touch on how inspirational working with people with disabilities is. They're the peoples that actually taught me about taking the leap and bravery and courage and resilience. Because I quite often say I turn boys into men, but don't get it twisted. I go to work and get schooled every single day because let's keep it real. Lots of these fellas, they wake up every single morning on the back foot, right? And then they have to put up with me. And in that regard, I'm not joking because I'm a different kind of support worker. I come from a strength based approach. I want to use what they're good at to work on what they need a little bit of improvement with, and you know how I start routine. I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but lots of people don't get to hear about people with disabilities, how beautiful they are, how inspirational they are. Like, for me, we should be holding these people up because every single day they wake up and they take the leap. straight into the unknown, the dark abyss, you know? Isn't that powerful? I know when you hear it coming from me, it sounds more powerful. But how do you make it powerful? How do you take inspiration from that? That's we're going to touch on how how I see how I see what we need to do to take the leap. Because I think I've got a couple things, you know, tucked under the sleeve I don't have. All right. But yeah, why else? Why else? Sometimes it's because we tried something a long time ago and it just didn't work out. And ever since then, it's been harder to try new things, to set boundaries, to to follow our passions, to start fire like a business venture. This applies. This taking the leap like discussion. It applies to everything, right? It has to because for me, when I hear taking the leap, it means pursuing what we actually want to do, and that's of the utmost importance. That's that's what's going to lead to our purpose. What else? Status quo is easy. So again, back to the comfortability, and it's easy for me to sit here and say it, but we've got to keep it real. And security is a big one because sometimes, and I'm going to use looking for a new job for example, and that's something that I'm going to touch on at the start of the next episode that I actually wanted to touch on during this episode. But yeah, that job security, right? So I've just finished up with one company and I'm starting with two companies and they haven't sorted my shifts yet. Oof, you know, what am I going to do? I need that job security. But I've told myself I keep doing what I'm doing, control what I control, and let everything else just hit me. Hit me. Yeah, maybe there's a couple weeks of struggle, but that's okay. That's okay because I took the leap. I left this company and I started with two new ones, you know, fresh chapter, new beginnings. And yeah, like don't get me wrong, the thoughts hit my head of quite a few times, but it's okay. It doesn't matter what happens, everything is going to be okay. And I believe that, eh? So like bless. I'm very, very, very blessed. I do have my notepad here again because I think it's important to have the notepad. And I did write down talk about the importance of security and safety to us because I've barely looked at it. Eh? I've been looking at my little post-it notes, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do the post-it notes again. I think they distract me a little bit, and that's why I lost my chain of thought before. Can you believe I lost my chain of thought? Outrageous, outrageous. Can't believe that. All right, so next, I just wanted to go through a couple things that taking the leap applies to, and like you know, they might click with you. All right, here we go. And then after that, I'm gonna finish the episode, but we're doing a two-part series on taking the leap. How about that? And we're gonna work out how to take the leap in the second episode. Oh, in the second episode of the two-part series. All right. So I've written these ones down. These are what they apply to. Asking a girl on a date, setting boundaries, business ventures, new job, moving into state or country like the little brother, or something simple like starting gym. One of the bros across the road, down the road from me, sorry, Ben. Shout out to the brother Ben. He's a good man too. We got very similar personalities, so click click from. Oh, but he's a Shark supporter. Come on now, you know. But yeah, Ben got me up 3 o'clock this morning. He wants to start the morning walk. He seemed serious about it. So I thought I'd take the leap with him, provide a little bit of motivation. But I had a beautiful morning because of that walk. It was, yeah, when you wake up in the wee hours of the morning, that's where it's sweet bliss. That's where you get to spend that time with yourself. But yeah, Ben taking the leap, which is pretty cool. Well, anyway, I'd just like to give thanks. I'm gonna wrap up the episode now. That wasn't very smooth. I'm gonna take this away a little bit because I dare say it's a bit too loud. Where was I? Oh yeah, I'm saying goodbye, aren't I? So I'd like to give thanks to everybody for listening and watching. I love you, fellas. Eh? From now on, I gotta shout. I gotta shout out the bro, my barber, Vinny. He helped me with the podcast the other day, just going back and forth. He was asking me questions and stuff, trying to get things in my brain. And he gave me an awesome suggestion. So in the first episode, you might have heard that I define myself as a poet. That's because I am. And I'm going to end every single episode with a poem. I'm going to hit you right here, right here. All right? Are you with me? Oh, I know you're a little bit interested. How could you not be? Oi, I hit the mic again. I didn't turn it off. See? Made sure I checked it. All right, notes. Where are we? I got lots of them. Okay. Hey, are you ready? I'm going to do my best to look at the camera because this is a good one. And it's about the show in a sense. So it's a good note to end on. By the way, the episode was only supposed to run 30 minutes, but it didn't pan out like that. So bear with me. All right. Lots of beautiful stuff coming. Are you ready? Ready? Let's go. Hood philosophy. What the fuck does that even mean? It's a simple way to tell the stories about all the fucked up shit we done and seen. It's about what could have been. You're not supposed to understand this life we lived. You look down on us like life dealt us an unlucky hand. That's because you don't see community, connection to land. All you see is hoodlums and thugs with no morals that refuse to draw a line in the sand. We grew up rough. Yeah, we sold drugs. We don't talk to police. We got heart like you've never felt before. There's something about this place that makes even weak men tough. Now we are saying that enough is enough. It's about time we used our voice to show these young cats there's always a choice. They look at us like we've never known love, and maybe they're right. But the hood is where heart lies, and we never back down from a fight. Trials and tribulation, we are sick of being patient. That train has already left the station. No more being complacent. Hood philosophy. What does it even mean? The good, the bad, the ugly. All the fucked up shit we've done and seen. A space to talk about what could have been. Don't try to understand, for in time you'll see this was my plan. Blessed day, beautiful peoples. Chee-hoo! Peace.